Greetings all, Mr. Walber here with 5.2 extension, just a little small section, part of 5.2. We've been doing proportional relationships, proportions. Now we're going to graph them and look for to see if they're proportional or not. As it says here that graphs have to show a constant rate of change to make them proportional, and also the line of the graph has to go through the origin to make sure that something is proportional. If you look at this graph here, this is the number of downloads by the number of web visits. This is a graph going up. First and foremost, it does connect to the origin. Remember, the origin is 0, 0. This point right here in the corner is considered the origin, and we want to know if this shows a constant rate of change. A couple of ways you can do this. You notice that it goes up 4 and over 12. Goes up 4 more and over 12 more, up 4 more and over 12, so it is proportional. Another way is to divide 12 divided by 4, 24 divided by 8, and 36 divided by 12. All of those, when you divide those, would get 3. So it's a proportional change. Remember, it's got to be a constant rate of change, not something that's drastically different. If you set up a proportion, the 12 with the 4, 12 over 4, that would have to equal the 24 to the 8. And obviously, as I just said, these are proportional because 4 times 2 gets you 8, and 12 times 2 gets you 24. So, yes, this graph is proportional. Sticking with the same theme, we have two different graphs here, A and B, and we want to know if X and Y are proportional relationships with each other on these graphs. Let's start with A here. Draw a line down the middle here. You can create proportions here with 2 over 6. That has to equal 4 over 8. Obviously, 2 times 2 is 4, so 6 times 2 is not 8, so the answer is already going to be no. You obviously could have set up that proportion of 6 to 10 as well. Also notice, by the way, it does not go through the origin, so for a lot of reasons, A is not a proportional graph. If you look at B, first of all, it does go through the origin. That's a good sign. You could look at what it's doing here as it is a constant change. You can set up a proportion with each one of these. 1 is to 2, as 2 is to 4, as 3 is to 6. It has to be every one of these. You can't just have 2 of them proportional and not the third. All of these obviously are proportional because 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. Also, if you look at it this way, 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. So a lot of ways you could look at this. It is a constant change, so yes, B is a proportional relationship graph. Alright, I'd like you to graph these two questions here and try to figure out if they are proportional relationships or not. You should have a decent background of being able to graph. You got your x-axis and your y-axis, and graph those 3 points for each one to determine if they are proportional or not. Good luck, and we will see you tomorrow.